Hey everybody, hope you're all well. So this is the second instalment of Lockdown Chatter. So I'm joined today by Steve Moseley of Options Mortgage Centre. Morning, Steve.
Morning, Michael.
And this has been, pardon?
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter to you too. And this episode has been prompted by a question I received from a friend of mine, primarily. And Steve's going to sort of discuss that when we get going in a second. So, Steve, if you wouldn't mind, could you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, my name's Steve Moseley. I'm an independent mortgage advisor with Options Mortgage Centre in Blackburn.
And Steve, how long have you been in the industry for?
28 years.
Oh, you don't look it.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Yeah, 28 years. Yes, I have.
Right. And I guess things have changed massively over that time. Peaks and troughs, ups and downs.
They have. We had the crash in 2008, 2009. Where the mortgage market went, crazy. We've come back out of that. We've started to see, deals changing, lenders changing. Everything was great, and then obviously we've now come into the impact that we've had with coronavirus.
Okay. And so with that one, primarily, the question I had asked of me was about mortgage holidays, payment holidays.
Yeah.
And what the impact of that will or won't be, and what kind of the cost behind that is, because I think perhaps for a lot of people it's a little bit unknown as to what that might do in terms of impact and credit file and all that kind of stuff. So I guess the question is, how does it work? What's the impact, and what's it likely to cost somebody? Obviously, we're not advising people, because listen, at the end of the day, if you've got to do it because the situation you're in, you've got to do it. But I think people just want a little bit more information about it, really.
Yeah, I mean, basically, the mortgage payment holiday. First thing is, it's good that the government, and the banks have all got together and turned around and said, yeah, they'll help everybody out, by applying for these mortgage breaks. And they won't affect your credit rating either. That's what the FCA have said, that if you do apply for it, it won't affect on your credit file. It won't. If you do need to apply for a mortgage break, you need to contact your bank or building society, and when we can help them out with details. We have put quite a few things on our Facebook at Options Mortgage Centre, giving you all the lenders' details on who to apply to and how to apply, which is very, very quick. And the lenders will respond, hopefully, very, very quickly. The costs on this, I mean, obviously the impact that it will have further on down the line, the lenders will add, obviously they're not being paid for 3 months, so that will cost, interest will be added, to the mortgage further on down the line.
Okay. And obviously at the minute we've seen kind of a lot of information about what's going on, what isn't going on in the mortgage market and that kind of stuff. What is the actual true picture of what's going on? I mean, because we've been hearing that obviously sensationalism from the press, banks aren't lending and this, that, and the other. Now, obviously, for some banks, there's limited amounts of what they can do. But just talk us through what it actually looks like out there at the minute, Steve.
We're still open. Banks are still doing business. Contrary to what people are thinking, lenders are still out there, still lending, not to the capacity that you were doing, obviously, before the lockdown, but and obviously because we can't get out and do brand new valuations, but lenders are still finding ways around of this. They are willing to lend. They are trying to still help people either get product transfers or do remortgages and even purchases. Only yesterday I did a purchase with HSBC up to 85%. I did a remortgage as well yesterday for a client, up to 85%, where they're going to do desktop. Sorry.
That was going to be my question. So they're doing desktop valuations where the surveyors can't actually physically get out to the property.
Obviously, because of the lockdown, no surveyors going out, so there is no valuations, no actual physical valuations being done. So everything is either done by an automated valuation, or it's being done on a desktop valuation.
Okay, so that basically means that Desktop is kind of a researched sort of valuation of the property by I don't know if it'd be by an underwriter, but certainly someone at the lender, and an automatic valuation is done by like a mathematical model, Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, basically what will happen is on a desktop valuation, sometimes, I mean, it happens even before the lockdown, lenders would actually do just a desktop valuation. So they might call a local surveyor and they just say to them, look, have you been out to whatever street it is? And they said, oh yeah, I've been to there, over the last 5-10 years, or I've valued next door, similar type of property, and they will give you a good guide of what the price would be.
And sort of moving forward, because in certain circumstances, I know a lot of agents have adapted what they're doing, which is great for people still to be able to do virtual viewings and all that kind of good stuff. But generally speaking, what in normal circumstances, what could people be doing in this period to get themselves into the best shape to apply for a mortgage once things come out the other side? Like, if you've got credit cards that you're not using and stuff, if you get rid of them, does that improve your credit rating? And what are the practical tips that you could give us as to what we could do to get our house in order for hopefully when this is it blows over, if we're going to be making a purchase?
Well, one thing definitely is make sure that any loans, credit cards, any finance that you've got, do not stop it. Do not stop it. Make sure that you speak to whoever your provider is, whether it be a credit card, loan, car company, or anything like that, mortgage company. Don't stop your direct debit. Just make sure that you're trying to pay something, contact everybody. So, because that would have an effect. If you just cancel your direct debit on a credit card or car loan or mortgage, that will affect your credit rating. If you've spoke to your bank and building society or your finance company further on down the line, and you've made an arrangement with them, make sure you do it via email or something like that, so you've got some sort of track record proof, so there's like a paper chase really. These are things definitely to keep doing. If you have got credit cards, just make sure you're making, even if it's just a minimum payment. These are things that you need to be doing.
Okay. And is that your daughter coming in the background?
Yeah, that's my secretary.
Secretary. And so you've had, I think, from what you've told me before, a lot of people that are sort of refinancing, perhaps to free up some cash to sort of tide them over in this period, or their deals coming to an end. What's kind of the approximate percentage you're doing at the minute from like remortgaging and refinancing versus new purchases?
Obviously, a lot of people have stopped. Unfortunately, a lot of people have stopped because the chain has stopped further on down the line. Where they can't buy some of the new properties straight away. But people are still, some people are still looking. They're still applying for the mortgages. Because they've seen the house and they think, yeah, no, it's the right time. We still want to carry on. We've still got in-house solicitors that are working with us. They're still grafting, 7 days a week. But everyone is trying to still do something behind the scenes, believe it or not. So the work, business is still going. We're still going on. Like you say, virtual viewings are still being carried on. I mean, a lot of the stuff that we're doing now, a lot of the purchases have been put on hold, but they're just on the back burner. Most of the stuff that we're doing at the moment is remortgage and product transfers. Fine,
okay. And I guess the lenders, like many people, are perhaps working on a skeleton staff or something like that, because obviously they need to make sure they're taking precautions to protect their people. So I guess kind of you, like me, obviously working from home as you do. I know obviously you go into the office and stuff and do that also, but working from home, I guess that means that there's a wealth of things that you could be doing now, and just like me, at the end of the day, I'm not really interested in getting people's business right now. I know that might sound silly. I'm just interested to give people advice and help people, because I know there'll be a number of people out there who are really concerned, really worried, and for whatever reason they're not kind of perhaps getting the contact and the advice that they need. So, I mean, what's your approach and take on that, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, we're offering things on Facebook and everything else like that, and even just sending out general emails and texts to all our normal clients and just saying to them, we're here. Listen, we're still open, guys. We're helping people out. It's not just the mortgage side of things as well. It's the protection side of things, making sure that they've still got the protection, their income protection. We're just making sure that everybody's covered, everybody's looked after, and we're here to help. If anybody needs our service, they want to have a chat or anything like that, yeah, we're here. We're here to help.
I guess given the situation we're in, kind of more income protection, illness cover, and all that kind of stuff, that's been put into a much sharper focus for a lot of people right now. So, are you doing a lot of that business at the minute too, then, or?
Yeah, a lot. We're speaking to a lot of people that want to just make sure that the cover that they've got is correct, and making sure if they haven't got it, that they've got something in place. Some people, have taken out mortgages, or they haven't got the life insurance. They said, "Oh yeah, we'll sort that out." All of a sudden, now it isn't important. That people have this in place is very, very important. And especially not to cancel it, because that's one thing that they don't want to be doing, is cancelling the policies.
Well, I've put the details of the Options Mortgage Centre page in the comments here on this video. But Steve, if anyone just wants to reach out with your advice, not necessarily to do business, but they just want, they've got a question that they're panicking, they're worried about, how can they get in touch with you?
They can email me. They can contact me. Phone's always on. Phone's on 24/7, so they can give me a ring. Not a problem at all. Or email me. Facebook, and we'll do conference calls like this. We'll do FaceTime. You don't even have to, if somebody wants to have a face-to-face conversation, we can do it over FaceTime or whatever.
Because I guess obviously you generally meet people at home and stuff. So from what you've said, you've had to adapt the way that you're operating.
Yeah, we're having more and more conference calls like this. The last couple of appointments that we've done have all been over a conference call, like this, where people can see face to face, because at least you still want to see who they're talking to. I had two new clients that I spoke to last week over this, and again, they want to know who they're seeing to, who they're speaking to, who they're giving the financial details out to. So.
Brilliant. Well, Steve, that's brilliant. It's been really useful. Thanks ever so much for your time. And glad you guys are safe and well, and hope this has been interesting. And I'll catch up with you soon, Steve. Everyone that's watched, thanks ever so much. And another episode to come tomorrow.
Yeah, no problem. Take care, Michael. Look after yourself.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks. Bye.